Oh my gosh. I have managed to find some of the biggest mine shafts on this server. Let's see. Nope. Oh man, that almost got us. We gotta get out of this place. Hey everybody, it's GPT back here with another episode of Survival Minecraft. In the middle of doing some caving, I just wanted to check in real quick. You know, typically when we cave, look at this. Oh yeah, spawner here, and there's like another spawner somewhere else. It's pretty nice. Typically when we cave, we answer questions, and I've got 2 questions that I want to answer real quick today. Not real quick, but just answer them. I've got a couple things I'd like to say about them. Kind of put a feeler out there because I found this mine shaft about questions on Twitter. I said, hey, you got any questions for me? Ask me, and I will answer it in a future episode. I will first say that Where Muffin and let's see, Keith both asked, gosh dang, oh, that's like the most evil thing ever. Boom goes the dynamite. Boom goes the dynamite. Yeah, give me that spider silk. Yes, I like. Man, I wish that would have just burnt that up. Just killed everything. Kill all the things. Your questions are so good that I just have not been able to think of answers for them. But I have not forgotten about you. So here, I'll just say the questions real quick. Where Muffin says, what is the strangest thing that has ever happened to you? That I could talk maybe about at length for pretty much a whole episode. But we're not going to do that in today's episode. Whoa, that was like pinball. Like bing, 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 bing. Whoa, where'd you come from? Oh, you came from up there with all your other ridiculous friends. You can just stay up there, guys. Haha. Suckers. Okay, so I've already checked these. That's what that means. And let's see, what was the other? Keith asked, what's the first childhood memory you have? I have a lot of memories, but I'm trying to figure out in which order they appear. So, again, your questions aren't... I'm not ignoring your questions. There's a couple different reasons why I'm not going to answer them. But I have 2 questions, 2 really solid questions out of like tons. Give it to me. Oh, I wanted that shovel. Whoa. Gosh. So distracted. So many things trying to kill me. Are you coming? Okay, so I'm going to answer the first question. This question comes from Bunsey. Actually, a lot of these questions came from people on the server, which is fine, because I'm a new guy, and they want to get to know me, and that's totally understandable. All right. Boom, boom, boom. By the way, I do apologize for F3 being pulled up, but the reason why it's pulled up is so... Oh my gosh, look at all the things. Look at all the things. Yeah. Oh, can we get them to blow up the creeper? Give me a record. Give me a record deal. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. No. 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 We almost could have gotten a record. You jerks. Oh, so many creepers. So many creepers. You know what? I could just shoot them. Let's just shoot them. Oh, wait. Let's shoot that guy. Ah! I need to eat some bread. Boom, 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 boom. Woo! Almost had to do one of those things. I haven't even answered any questions yet. There's so many things trying to kill me. And I'm just killing everything. I'm killing all the things. Screw you guys. Screw you guys. I'm going home. All right, let's just avoid this like the plague. First question. I'm going to answer a question. I swear. It comes from Bunsey. He says, have you ever tried to pick up women pure... Bojangles. Awesome. So have you ever tried to pick up women solely using your radio voice? Yes and no. That creeper's going to come right down on my head. I know it. And my cat's meowing. Oh my gosh, yet another spawner. Ooh! 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 There's so many spawners down here. So I found two zombie spawners. That others like cracked out spider spawner. So many bats. No! Oh, I didn't see him down there. Buckets. I'll take all your buckets. All your buckets belong to me. Let's check this place out real quick. No, I have not necessarily used my radio voice to pick up women, but oh gosh, I had tons of torches already. But I have a funny story about when I first got into radio. So I was on a trip. I was on a like a high school trip with boys and girls, and we were staying overnight at a particular place. I'm going to do one of these things. There we go. And I want to keep the flesh. I don't need the bow. I trade the flesh for emeralds. I guess I could keep the suit. Projectile protection and unbreaking. That might be decent to keep. Gosh, I swear I'm going to answer the question. I swear. Just so many things. Like, that's the bad thing. It's like, sometimes these are boring, so you answer questions to make them more entertaining. And then sometimes they're action-packed, and you just can't help it. So we were, again, staying overnight, so we were staying in a building. Oh gosh, I'm just going to end up picking up all these things, aren't I? And the girls were on one side of the building, and the boys were on the other side of the building. Oh yes, give me your things. Anything down there? Nah. Let's go ahead and light it up though, just so that I know I've been down here. Give me your flesh. And so the next morning, so like we were up all night, we were talking and that kind of thing. And the next morning, the girls were like, "Why were you guys listening to a radio all night?" And we were just like, "What? Like, what are you talking about? Like, nobody has a radio." We were like out in the middle of nowhere. And come to find out, they were talking about me. Because I was doing most of the talking with the guys. And I was actually, my bed was like right up against the wall. And so they had been hearing basically my voice all night. And I was probably 15, 16 years old. I think I was 16. I just turned 16. And ironically enough, right after that trip, I had a scheduled meeting at the radio station. Like a job interview. And everyone just got a huge kick out of it because we were all just trying to figure out like what they were talking about. I don't know what those guys are doing over there. They're having some fun though. And so we essentially, like, and the rest is history. Like, it is what people say. Like, oh, it was meant to be. And I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. It was kind of meant to be. I can't say that I probably got in radio because I had a nice voice. That's something that I developed over time. Like, I still had this sort of deep voice, which everyone always still comments on. Like, all the Groundfox people were like, what do you do for a living, Jason? I'm like, oh, I work in radio. And they're like, well, that makes sense. You know, and I get it. For a long time, I was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. But I understand why people might think that. But it is something that not a lot of people are born with. It's not a gift. But I would say it is something that you have to work on to have like a really good radio voice. I used to talk really fast. And I've said that before, but it's totally true. And there are still some times where I talk probably way too fast. But have I ever used it to pick up women? I mean, there was that. If the girls were liking it, you know, I wasn't going to complain about it. You know, let's just say that and keep it there. But my wife, I don't necessarily think that my voice was what did it in for her. You know. Come on. There we go. It probably helped. I'm sure. It's probably something about me that she finds attractive, but did I ever use it to really pick her up? No. A lot of people, though, again, are very curious about, like, oh, you're on the radio? And I can't remember who said it. It was somebody on the server. They were like, oh, so you're a presenter? And I'm just like, a presenter? No, I'm a radio DJ. But then I started thinking about it. You know, they're not from the United States, and that's just what they call their DJs. And I kind of like it. I kind of want to just start calling myself a presenter. Makes you sound a lot more official than, you know, a DJ. Because these days, a lot of people, you know, when you say DJ, a lot of people are like, you know, the wiki kind of DJ, and that's not the case. I am definitely not one of those. I don't spin records. You know, I play them off of a computer. Everything's computerized now. You know what? I'm in a hurry. Let's just go over here. It's a big old mine shaft. Let's put it on the wall there. I don't think there's... Oh, no, there is something right there. Never give up. Ugh. So, Bunsey, I hope that answers your question. I think maybe you were asking it ironically, but it's a good question. Because, like I said, a lot of people are really curious about, like, oh, you work in radio? And they want to know all about it. And just like, you know, I'm more than just a YouTube guy. I'm more than just a radio guy. And so I get that. Like when a lot of people that do YouTube, you know, like, oh, you're on YouTube. I don't get it. Like, you don't work for a living. There are some parallels when people comment like, oh, you're on the radio. Like, that must be the best job ever. It has its moments. It does. Like, I'm not going to lie. It's definitely fun. It's a different kind of job, but it's a lot of work. It's not the only thing I do at the radio station. I mean, I've designed all three of the logos for the station. I do, you know, keep up with our websites. I do a lot of the social media stuff. There's just a lot of stuff. And I work for an independent radio station. Now, if I worked for like a corporate radio station, it would probably be a completely different story because there would be money behind it and basically a corporation telling you exactly what you need to be doing. We're not. We're three, you know, not young. Our oldest station was done in 1948. Obviously, I haven't worked there since then, but I've been a part of it for almost 15 years now. So I'm actually, outside of the owner/engineer, I am the longest working employee there. It's kind of a second home. And it's not something that I thought that I would stick with. It's just kind of stuck with me. There must be somebody spawning things because I have not seen anything spawning in here, which I'm kind of okay with. I've had my kicks, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, hey, it's kind of part of the fun. Okay, that's a zombie. I thought maybe that was diamonds for a second. Man, I knew I was going to talk about this question for a long time because people are just, again, they're just interested in why that is something that people do for a living. I don't just show up, do my show, and go home. There's a lot of stuff that I do behind the scenes, and honestly, that kind of explains why I don't have a lot of videos on. I just do Minecraft, and even then, it's just I've been worn out lately. We've had two fairly large projects. Both of them graphically related, and one of them has just been more of a chore than the other. So that explains kind of the lack of content lately. I've been trying to keep it really good for you guys, but I'm just kind of worn out. This is the time of year where it gets real busy, and then wintertime it slows down a little bit, as much as it's going to slow down, just because we consider that kind of our off season. So again, hopefully that answers the question. If not, be more specific, and I'll try to answer it again. Let's see, I already have torches. That's right, okay. Next question, real quick. Kyle, otherwise known as Oki, here on the server. Oh, yeah, they must be getting XP. He's probably going to be very upset about that. Oki asks, let's see, what flavor of sauce of any brand is your favorite sauce? Well, I'm just running in circles here, aren't I? I will say there is a sauce from my parents' home state and home city called Maurice's, and it is a mustard-based barbecue sauce, and it is the best sauce that you would ever have. There's a bit of controversy behind it, though. My parents are from South Carolina, and for many years, on the back label of this sauce, it says, "Remember your heritage," and it had a rebel flag, of course, from the Civil War, and an American flag. Or no, it had a rebel flag and I believe the South Carolina flag. I think that was it. I always thought it was an American flag. Maybe that's that's on there now. And of course, that caused a big brouhaha. The state capital had a rebel flag flying for many years up until recently. So that's kind of been a big deal. And so sort of having that connection with my parents being from there, I understand a little bit of what they're going for. I don't agree with it necessarily. But to me, it wasn't a big deal like growing up. It was like I just didn't notice it until I guess I got older. The stuff also used to come in glass bottles, which, not trying to dramatically change the subject, but now they're in plastic bottles, and it just doesn't. Oh gosh, I'm lost. It just doesn't feel the same. It still tastes the same, like the sauce itself, but just having that real heavy glass bottle. It was about the size of a small milk, like an old milk jug. I can't remember how many ounces the bottles are. Oh, is this where all those terrible spiders are? Oh, there's a creeper in there. Fantastic. Can I reach that? No, I can't. We're going to have to sacrifice. There we go. Let's go around. And so, yeah, it comes in these like glass bottles now. It's just, yeah, it's not great. I wish they would. I still actually have a couple glass bottles that I will actually transfer the sauce into, which I think it's funny. My wife, not so much. Oh, dang, you saw that. I was on that. Jerk. Okay, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Can I go from this side? Does this connect? Let's see. Okay, yeah. So it doesn't go anywhere. Cool. Aww. Took out my torches. But it's great. Again, it's mustard based. It's got a little bit of a spice to it, but just has this real distinctive flavor. And it's great for barbecuing chicken. It's great for dipping French fries in it. I dip everything in it. It's ridiculous. I could eat it. I've eaten it. Honestly, when times were tough, I had eaten it by itself. Just, like I put it on like noodles. It makes no sense why you would ever do that, but I just love it that much that I would be weird enough to put it on just about everything. You can order it online. Every time we go down to see family around the holidays or any other random occurrence, we get it. My wife likes it. I don't think she's as like crazy about it as I am, but she likes it. Let's go this way. She understands why I like it. It's very distinct. And I've tried to get my father-in-law to use it. He has a big smoker, but yeah, that hasn't happened, which is fine. But yeah, they got us a big old thing of it for when we got married. A couple family members brought some up, I guess you could say. And we still actually have most of that from when we got married 2 years ago, which I think is very funny. Okay, does that just continue over there, or have I actually gotten there? Let's find out. We're getting towards the end of the episode a little bit, but I knew those two questions alone would really occupy my time, especially the radio one. I don't mind talking. Again, I'm so reluctant to bring it up when in casual conversation, because then the whole conversation becomes about working in radio. And it's just like, that is not like, I have more interest than just in radio, but People just have questions. They have a natural curiosity about the business. So I just had kind of to, oh my gosh, this is a whole nother part of this. I just have to go with the flow. Sometimes it's just a matter of grinning and bearing it. You know, my wife sometimes just has to pat me on the arm because there's that, like, she knows as soon as I, like, swallow and I kind of have that second of hesitation, she knows it's just like, ugh, you know, but it is what it is. You know, I've gotten used to it. Tiny bit of lag in a second. Oh, great. That's just what I need. Just some lag. Okay. Oh my gosh. I have managed to find some of the biggest mine shafts on this server. Let's see. Nope. Oh man, that almost got us. We gotta get out of this place. Let's do that. Wow. We almost died because I was trying. I should have known better. I was trying to make torches to be safe, and well, I almost be dead. Almost be dead. But I think that's going to do it for this episode. I mean, again, I appreciate you guys watching. And yeah, we're just going to kind of hang out in this hole until I can dig myself out. I don't know if I'll go exploring more on that mine shaft. I got a lot of resources already at my base. My base is developing pretty well. I've got way too many rooms is part of the problem. So I think that's probably something I'm not going to abandon my base necessarily, but I don't think I'm going to utilize it in the ways I think I want to. We may do some automation stuff, but we'll see. But that's going to do it for this episode. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to share them in the comment section. I will answer them in future episodes, or I may just answer them directly. However you get it to me, whether it's Twitter or the YouTube comments, that kind of thing. I would say Twitter is probably the easiest way for me to track them and utilize them. But yeah, Weremuffin and Keith, I will answer your questions. I swear I'll answer them. I just have to think about them a little bit. The one that Weremuffin asked, I just trying to figure out if I want to share or not. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But that's going to do it for this episode. Appreciate you guys watching. And until next time, this is JPT. Go play your games, and I'll be seeing ya.